Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Bree and I make art things out of clay. My figure this week is inspired by the Chinese New Year. In the Chinese zodiac, 2022 is the year of the tiger. And I've noticed a lot of other artists online making tiger illustrations or designs of their own in homage to and in celebration of the coming spring and the new year. And I just want in on the fun, frankly. That sounds nice. I've never made a tiger figurine before or any type of cat yet, I don't think. So I thought it would be a fun creature to try, a little challenge for myself. And so here we go, let's get into it.
Hi everyone, welcome. Okay, I'm really excited about this figure. You know when you have a vision for a project or an art piece or something pop in your head and then you're like, yep, I will be making that. Right now, actually, today. I've got to go. That was this figure for me. I had some other projects planned that I scrapped because I felt the artistic pull, the feminine urge to bring a little baby tiger into this world and give him a little scarf. It's what he deserves and what I felt like I deserved in this moment as well. Okay, back to what I'm doing here. I've formed what looks like a potato shape, I guess. So step 1, make a potato. And then step 2 is put some legs on it. I've got some tiny little soup can legs here that I'm attaching onto the front of him. I scored each side of that clay before sticking these on, just so the clay would have something to grab onto, to stick together with, while I blend some reinforcement over those seams here. And then a wet paintbrush is crucial in smoothing out all of that texture, all the extra bumps and fingerprints I left while handling this thing. Now, before I add on his other 2 limbs, I want to position the scarf where I want it. Here I am trying to flatten and smooth out a long rectangular piece for that. Now, I know there has to be a better way to get pieces like this, but I haven't figured it out yet. My rolling pin just sticks to it, and I don't have one of those like handle crank machines, like a pasta maker, you know? Yeah, I don't have that, so I'm just trying to make it work. If you know of a better way how to do this, please let me know. But for now, I'm just taking that long piece that I made and wrapping that around his neck, leaving a little bit of a gap for that small piece here to just flop over the top, like he's all cozy, he's bundled up. And then I did trim down the thickness of the scarf a little bit, just to make it fit better to his body. And then I can rough up that surface again and add some little arms here, right under the scarf. And then I'll smooth all that over again with my paintbrush. And then this is where things started to take a turn, because once I added on some ears and a little snout, you might be thinking that this creature looks nothing like a tiger. It looks like a bear. And I do hear you. It also doesn't help that it bears a stark resemblance to another figure I've made previously on this channel, the pumpkin spice bear. In fact, they have the exact same body shape. And this is where I started regretting where I placed the legs and the arms, and I debated starting over. Even after giving this thing a long tiger tail, it now just looks like a weirder bear. But I decided not to start over. I was like, the paint job, it's all in the paint job will save it. So I primed it, and I mixed up a few different shades of orange, and I laid down a few coats of the lightest one. And then I knew up front that I wanted these scarves to be red because that's a very traditional color of the Chinese New Year, and I wanted to stay within that theme. But then I was like, oh my God, what have I done? Because if you didn't think it looked like a bear before, well, now you do, because I painted it exactly like Winnie the Pooh. Like, hello? We gotta change that orange shade. It's too yellow. Okay, that looks better. I still see Winnie the Pooh, but we're going to push through. We're going to try to save it with the details. I'm going to add in some different colors and start working on a pattern here for its coat. Something that hopefully reads more Tigger and less Pooh. To do that, I'm adding some cream-colored markings on his face and inside his ears, maybe some little cheeks, and we'll do the same thing on his belly and the underside of his tail. Off camera, I did use some of those other orange shades to add a little bit more color variation, some dimension to his coat. I thought that just looked better than the one flat orange tone. It's a little hard to tell on camera, but it is there. Okay, now we're going to start on his stripes. I was dreading this part just a little bit because I'm just not the best at creating thin, straight lines, it's not my strength. But I tried making it easier on myself by creating this template, giving myself some lines to follow. Then I did blush up his cheeks a little bit and change the shape of his nose, but now we are getting into it. We've got our black paint here on a thin liner brush. My lines ended up being a lot thicker than I envisioned them, but I would jerk slightly, painting one side, and then I'd have to thicken up the other side to match it. And it was back and forth like that for hours, but I did my best. Some of his lines, his stripes are a little bit chunky, and that is okay. We still love him. I did a little bit better on the stripes that didn't have to wrap around his body, so I think that his face and the front of him ended up looking pretty good. I did give him some markings on the top of his ears, and I used black as well for his nose and eyes. And it is at this point that I no longer see a bear. The tiger cub is starting to shine through, and I'm really liking it, okay? I gotta say, he looks good. Although I felt like the scarf was giving off either Taylor Swift or Mr. Tumnus from the Chronicles of Narnia. I feel like that's a very specific reference, but hey, if you know, you know. And then lastly, I did give him some little paws on the bottoms of his feet. Look at those little toe beans. And then I was gonna be finished. I was done. But then I'm looking at this thing and it just looks like it's missing something. Like, is it the scarf? Should we change it? I'm bored. Let's do it. Now, I read that this time of year is also referred to as the Spring Festival or the Lunar New Year. And so I thought I could do little like flower blossoms, or I could lean into the lunar thing, which is clearly what I did here. I went with some little crescent moons and stars in a metallic gold paint. And that looks pretty cute. Come on now. Now that looks finished to me. So it's time to seal in that paint job with a protective varnish, what I call the gloss. We're gonna gloss him up real good, make him all shiny. And then here is our finished little guy. I think he came out so cute, okay? We never gave up on him. We never doubted him. We did. A little bit in the beginning, but now, look, he came out precious. I love him. And he is now listed for sale in my Etsy shop. If you do grab him, I hope he brings you good luck this new year. We could all use a little bit of that. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!